5 red lights here at Abu Dhabi for season 15, round 4, and it's going to be lights out and away we go. Who is going to be the one to get away? Well, again, Tarrier tries to cover off Danny into turn 1, and they go side by side, potentially some slight contact. It's side by side between P3 and 4 with Clep and Angelo side by side. And who will come out on top in these battles? That looks like Vapid. And I got the inside as well of the two of them. Does it come off? We shall see further down. That's a V car hitting the wall there, unfortunately for them. And now it's on to the first DRS, and of course DRS not yet active, but it looks like it was almost 3 wide there. Oh, and the Red Bull of Gucci avoiding the cars ahead, doing so. A little bit of contact between drivers, and it is still 3 wide as we go down towards turn number 9, side by side. And it's Angelo who stays P3, but side by side is Polar and Vapid battling with each other here. And it's the V-Card man who comes out on top and is into P5. Tom out the Grand Prix. So to the turn 5 hairpin. Does anyone go for some dives? Doesn't look like it, but maybe further back, because Lesko get side by side with Simon, who defends the position for now. Is there going to be action down towards the chicane? We're going to see here side by side, a little bit ahead as well. Is it going to be? But Simon defending as well. Lots of 2x2s with Ashton Wazzy Jr. battling as well. And Hutchins gets the Formula Gucci as well. Who's close for him now, because Lesko all over the back of Simon. Is he going to go up the inside? It looks like he has, and now side by side through the hairpin. It's not quite come off because Lesko though, and that would allow Gucci through, and then indeed it does there. So let's go down to 10th now. Is that going to be compounded because Faye Ashton right on the tail as well? And the other Aston, Verstappen getting ahead of Gnarly as well, and it's lots of position changes. And the two Haas is changing as well, but side by side as well as Chris Lesko and Simon batting out, and Simon going for the dive up ahead, and he spins around, does the Williams of Simon. That is not ideal there, and down to the back of the pack goes Simon. That's not what he would have wanted there. It is a 4-car DRS train at the moment here as we're looking. Gnarly has retired in the pit lane exit there, and so we'll see is there any action for the second DNS zone. And Vapid closing in on Polar here, chooses to go up the inside there. Side by side they go, slight touching of wheels, but it should be okay for them. And Vapid up to P5 now. Polar still right on the tail of Vapid, going slightly wide at turn 1 there, as what's happened there? Small Girl getting ahead of FaZe Ashton. Side by side, almost nose to tail indeed, through the first couple of corners, and us having to defend the inside line. Trying to get a good camera angle here as we go now on board with FaZe Ashton, as Hutchins further ahead gets ahead of Polar. And it's the best angle here. Ashton ahead of Small Girl as well, and very close between the two Haas cars there, and just about avoid hitting each other. And going further ahead, not any change, but then there is position changes again. Small Girl ahead of Ashton once more. DRS open for Danny M7 here on lap number 6. And let's see, is there going to be action, or is Danny going to wait for the second DRS zone? Tyre defending inside slightly as we're on board here with Danny. And now the second DRS zone. Is it going to be a good exit from the Red Bull driver? DRS is open as we can see. Tyre defends the inside line, but Danny now has the outside to go around, and then Tyre tries to switch as well. There's maybe some contact in that as well. Danny M7 takes the lead now here in Abu Dhabi, but there's action for P4 and 5. Vapid and Verklempt making a bit of contact. Still they go side by side, no damage done I don't think. Verklempt keeps P4 for now. Is that a word? I don't know. Getting some analogies out here, but it's a bit of a slide from Danny, and now it's going to be Tarrier with DRS here, side by side. Danny and Tarrier once again, and Tarrier retakes the lead. But now it's Danny to get DRS on the second DRS zone, as Bucci gets ahead of Polar for P7 there, through the first DRS zone. And Verstappen 95 getting ahead of Wazzy Jr. As we look at the top 3 still, but no action there, so gone the wrong way, sorry about that. And side by side, Vapid getting up to P4 ahead of Verklempt, and Hutchins joining in on the action as well in P6 there for Sauber. Into the pits goes Verklempt, as well as Polar and Ashton hitting too. Hard tyres for the McLaren of Verklempt. Have a look at that battle, in fact, because side by side, Simon still with Notorious, both with the DNS open, go side by side into the chicane, and oh, that's a bit of an unfortunate contact there from Simon, puts them down a couple of positions, but there's some action there again between Hutchins and Vapid. Apologies we missed that one. Now into the pits goes Danny M7, as well as Vapid Coot 74. Danny into the pits and on to the hard tyres for him. And Vapid pitting as well. He's going to go on to the hard tyres. Oh, safety car deployed. I think that's Wazzy Jr. having some sort of issue at Latifi corner as well. And is he minus a front wing? Sort of looks like it, and yes. And so Tarrier into the pits under safety car conditions. He's on to the hard tyre. Angelo pits as well. Is it going to be a quick enough stop? He's on to the hards too. Let's have a look. It's going to be Danny slotting in P2. So the undercut not quite working for Danny M7 due to timing of the safety car. Verklempt out just behind Hutchins, so that safety car has hindered Verklempt a little bit there. Hutchins up to P4. We see the safety car there. It's about to peel into the pits, and where is Tarrier going to choose to put his foot down on that throttle pedal? He's still waiting. Going to use the final corner as a slingshot on to the full throttle. Yes, he is. Tarrier leads the way. He weaves to try and get that a little bit more temperature into those tyres, and Faze Ashley immediately into the pits to serve that drive-through penalty. Unfortunately for him, for that safety car speeding infringement. But we're back into green flag action here. Verklempt was having a little bit of a look up the inside of Hutchins there, but will decide to go for the slipstream down the first DRS shit. Obviously DRS not active for this lap, and so as we can see, Verstappen gets through for P10 in the background there. Is there going to be any action? There is. Verklempt going up the inside of Hutchins into the hairpin corner. Who's going to come out ahead? It is going to be Verklempt just about, and Verklempt back up to P4 now. Into the chicane, as you were for now. But it's been a good exit from Kozlensko on those medium tyres for that Mercedes car. So let's go now up into P6. Very nice, this camera angle. Oh, Verklempt hits the wall there. That is not ideal for the McLaren. Did they get damage? That is the question though. Quite the DNS train from P4 all the way back to P11. DNS open here. and it's going to be Hutchins going side by side with Verklempt, and it's the Sauber of Hutchins back up to P4 now. Angelo's having a look into the chicane, not quite enough for a move, but somebody who's looking for a move is Formula Bucci on the inside of Kozlezko. They go side by side through the chicane. Who's going to come out on top? The battle continues on to the second DRS straight, both of them with that rear wing open. That is Formula Bucci, who has the P6 position for now. Verklempt this time does not have the DNS open, so it is going to be Formula Bucci. He is going to go to the right hand side, and Formula Bucci up to P5 now. It's going to be DNS for the Red Bull Formula Bucci. And are they going to go side by side here? Hutchins defends the inside line. That will allow the outside line for Bucci, and he goes through this action between the two Mercedes cars. Vapid gets ahead of Kozlezko's teammate, and Notorious pitting as well onto the soft tyres. Angelo really close to Danny, but Hutchins goes back through into P4 in the second DNS zone. Danny into the pits again for a second pit stop. And what tyre is it going to be? Is it going to be some more hard tyres for Danny? So that is very interesting. I was expecting everyone to go to the end. That is not going to be the case. Polar pits as well for the V-Carb team. He's also going to go on some hard tyres, so that was different to what I was expecting, I'm not going to lie. The question is now, do the Ferraris respond? Yes they do. The Tarrier does at least. Tarrier pits from the lead. Can Angelo go to the end? That is the question. There's what, 8 or 9 laps to go, so it will be going on 18, 20 laps or so on those tyres. It's doable, I would say. Got more cars into the pits. Hutchins for Sauber, Verklempt for McLaren, and Kozlezko for Mercedes as well. Tyres come out behind Danny M7, so that is pretty big. DRS for Tarrier, and Danny defends the inside, but Tarrier goes through. Tarrier goes through up to P5. Now, small girl in the Haas doesn't defend too hard, and now is there going to be any more action defending inside his Tarrier side by side momentarily, and Tarrier just ahead as Hutchins ahead of Simon. Vapid into the pits. There'll be some mediums for the Mercedes of Vapid Q74. Race situation now. Angelo leads with Formula Bucci P2. Tarrier and Danny though chasing down, and that gap will be going down, but Verklempt and Simon are side by side. Verklempt gets ahead of the Williams car. Faze Ashton out the Grand Prix. Just on the exit of Latifi corner once again. And safety car deployed. Angelo pits from the lead under safety car conditions. And firstly, what tyre is Angelo going to go on to? Looks like medium tyres. And Formula Bucci into the pits as well. Okay, so Tarrier and Danny staying out. Safety car peels into the pits now, and it's now all up to Tarrier as to when he puts his foot to the floor, and we can go for green flag racing. 3 laps to go here in Abu Dhabi. Tarrier puts his foot to the floor, and it's back to green flag racing we go. Oh, that's the V-Carb in the wall in the background. That was Mastor Maldonado, and it's side by side action now with the McLaren of Verklempt in P6 as well, and let's go all over the tail as well. But we need to be looking Because Angelo goes up the inside of Danny into turn number 5. Does it Max Verstappen style? And Angelo takes P2. And he's on the medium tyre as well. And how's this race going to end between the two Ferraris as the two Mercedes switch positions? There's action as well into the chicane. All through the field really. And I don't know where to look. There is action all over. And so, who is going to be making overtakes here? As you were for the top few. Just side-by-side action as well. Verstappen and Simon swapping places there. And it's DRS open for Angelo. Is he going to go for the move here? Or is he going to wait for the second DRS zone? Is he going to go for the move at all? There's action further back though. Verklempt and Hutchins side-by-side. Vapid looking to get in on the action as well. And into the chicane. Verklempt up to P5. Does that stay the same as we head further down and into the DRS zone? The Ferraris stay as they are for now. They're going to be as they were through the chicane at least. And now could be the final opportunity for anybody to make an overtake here. Angelo with the DRS open. He's not going to make a move on his teammate, but it is going to be LTK Tarrier to round the final corner. And it's going to be him to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Angelo in second for a Ferrari 1-2, and then it's Danny in P3, Bucci P4, and then on penalties Vapid goes up to 5th because Lesko 6th, and it's for Verklempt in 7th, Hutchins P8, Verstappen 95 9th, Notorious up to P10, I believe there are penalties, then it's Small Girl Simon who rounds out the points positions. LTK Tarrier wins here in Abu Dhabi. Angelo in second, making a Ferrari 1-2, then it's Danny in third, Formula Bucci is 4th, and it is Vapid P5, Kozlesko 6th, and Verklempt in P7, with Hutchins 95 P8, and it is Verstappen 95 P9, and Notorious getting that P10 position, then it is Small Girl P11, Simon P12, then Polar in 13th, with Mastor Paldado P14, and Sam being the last of the classified runners, and then FaZe Ashton, Wazzy Jr., Gnarly, and Tom Gordian.